Greetings, everyone. Huzzah! Week 3 is completed, and here we are looking at our current overall rankings in the league. Some people are in better places than others. Some people, two of our glorious peoples are sitting up top pretty with perfect score 3, and two others are not sitting up top and just rolling around, sloshing in the mud, getting that waiver priority at 0-3. Yahoo, here we come. Probably the last week that waivers are going to really be impactful as you hope them to be. Without further ado, going right into Commish's corner. Social Rule Watch. Only one this week. That's pretty good participation throughout the whole league. Unfortunately, it's a repeat offender, Kinzer. We miss you, bud. You got quality posts. Throw them up on there. Want to hear from you. Miss your face. Now, fun fact: as I was getting this all prepped up, I realized as I was moving the waiver wire around and getting everything fixed up, I actually can't even do it on a computer. It is far easier for me to manage our whole league through my mobile versus doing it on a computer, which seems counterintuitive, but hey, the whole platform was built for mobile only, so I give Sleeper credit for at least excelling in the area that they focus on. Going on to Sleeper Report. Sleeper Report, it's like a lovely little gift because there are little surprises in there, but every once in a while, for some people, we find a lump of coal in that Sleeper Report. Best manager, definitely has gotten this 2 out of 3 weeks. Mr. Codename got a perfect fantasy lineup set for his squad, scoring 171 points. Good on you, bud. Worst manager also has this wonderful honor, 2 out of 3 weeks, rocking that 66%. Yours truly. Yep, coulda, shoulda, woulda. Could have got 148. Instead, got 122 and lost that one. If I would have played either one of the wide receivers, either Scary Terry or Hot Lockett, but would have been able to win that one. But I feel like this is going to be the tale of my wide receivers, is that either Watkins or Lockett's going to ball out. So I'm playing both of them the rest of the year. Ah ha 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 ha. Yeah, that's right. Volume. Woo. That's usually how I rock my wide receivers, anyways. Biggest blowout. No surprise. Perfect lineup set. Mr. Codename at 171, beating our current champion, the Greek one, at 135. The narrowest victory, we actually had one that was almost 10 points over. So good on everyone for, I guess, setting decent lineups for the most part. Yep, no point fours this week. We haven't been able to drop a point four in a while. Shmeesh. But Grim beating out Kinzer 114 to 106, a solid 8 points ahead. I'm feeling pretty comfortable there, I think. Our highest scorer, Spencer, also who I would want to argue is on the closest edge of tilting. Spence, but we all watched you almost go over it. As we were watching the Bears game Monday night, you were about to shit bricks because you thought that the Bears defense was about to drop 50 points from Mr. Case Keenum, which it was really a possibility in the second, third quarter. Holy damn. But no, you're safe and sound. Highest score, good on you, bud. And then lowest scorer, who has also earned this beautiful badge, 2 out of 3 weeks, Mr. Will Grish. I know it's the second week in a row, that's tough, bud, but hey, you're trending in the right direction. You got to the triple digits this time. Keep on thugging, man. You got a pretty solid looking lineup. Things just need to start clicking. We'll see what happens. And then speaking of Grim versus Kinzer, our game of the week last week was Eklin for a win versus Corncob Butt Plugs, and Eklin for a win barely scraped by, and this time not because Austin Eckler was being super awesome and dropping 30 or 40 points. That's always fun. This time he gave up a modest 11 points. But yeah, Grim upsetting who I had picked for the win. Sleeper had you with the best odds. Yeah, no boom from the butt plugs though this week. And our weekly trivia this week, which you will be handsomely rewarded with a mystery wheel of beer, and so it's going to depend on participation. Maybe more participation might mean better quality of beer or more quantity of beer. You never know. But riddle me this. If you are a henchman in Gotham City, which villain would you work for and why? Again, that's if you are a henchman in Gotham City, which villain would you work for and why? You guys will see my example under the T3 chat, as you guys know. So that way, those of you who I very much appreciate tuning in on a weekly basis, you guys will get the reward. This week's game of the week. Oh my gosh, this team name. Cooks a River of Bad Juju versus Over the Hill. We have our current reigning champion, two-time reigning champion, Steve the Greek, versus our former champion and former Sacco, Kai, with Over the Hill. Kai just getting off his first win. Greek right now in a bit of a landslide with the team, losing 2 weeks in a row. Let's take a look and see what we got here. So when it comes to QBs, Greek, you have Rivers and Allen, and Kai, you have Winston and Stafford. Rivers is at Miami, which is cool. Allen is hosting New England. My problem with Greek's QB is that Rivers has had to throw a lot. And going up against Miami, that head coach, he is very, very dedicated to the run. And so I think that they're really going to try to focus that in, try to give Rivers a bit of a break this week. And also that might have a negative effect on Keenan Allen too, to be honest, but they have Justin Jackson and Eckler. So they should be able to get something going there. And then Josh Allen hosting New England. New England's defense has been crazy on point. And Allen, a couple times last week, he had gorgeous opportunities for a couple touchdowns that he just overthrew and was off the mark. And if he doesn't get it together, I don't think it's going to happen against New England. He had a get-right game last week. And then Winston going against the Rams at the Rams. I mean, it's going to be a ball fest. I mean, it's just like how it was last week for Winston. It was just raining touchdowns for Evans. Godwin, of course, got basically no love from that, and of course, O.J. Howard got just enough love for me to get my ass kicked by Tebby. But that's how it rolls. And then Stafford hosting KC. I think that Stafford has a really good opportunity to be able to make it rain at home. So I give the edge on QBs to Kai. Running backs, Steve has Kamara and Cohen, and Kai has Carson and Montgomery. This one, I'm kind of feeling it's a little bit of a wash. Carson and Montgomery have been struggling a little bit, but given the right opportunity and keeping their shit together and playing correctly, I really think that they're going to be able to pull out. Carson's at Arizona. That should be a run fest. Montgomery taking on the Vikes. He might get snuffed. He also might not. It's a very elusive back, and the Vikings defense hasn't seen him before, and so I'm not going to sit here and pretend that we're impenetrable. Kamara, Kamara can put up points for three people at the same time. And Cohen, I think, is just barely above the waiver wire line. If not, you might see him next week on the wire. But just giving the running backs a wash because, again, Kamara, Teddy, they were able to pull it off at Seattle, upsetting them in September for the first time in the Pete Carroll era. But yeah, the running backs right there are a wash. Wide receivers. Interesting that we have two Rams on this one. It's going to be all about the Rams game for this particular matchup. But Steve has Brandon Cooks and Juju Smith-Schuster. Cooks is taking on Tampa Bay in that potential shootout. Schuster at Cincinnati. And then Kai, Robert Woods, and then having the sneaky play of John Brown against Greeks Allen. I'm going to have to give the edge to the Greek one right there. Greek just has a little bit more quality receivers that are either the first read or have just been really hot lately. And Kai still has to take on the Pats with Jay Brown, so that's not going to be great. Tight ends, not even going to get into this one. It's Kelsey at Detroit and Ingram at Washington, two fantastic tight ends with two really solid young QBs. They're going to put up points. It's just a matter of who gets the TDs. Show me your TDs. Diggs and Larry. Diggs hosting Chicago, or going to Chicago rather, and Larry hosting the Seahawks. Going to give it to Larry at home. Him and that new kid Murray have been on fire, and Diggs, where are you, bud? The whole of Minnesota hopes to hear from you, and hopes your quarterback figures his shit out as well. So overall, I'd have to say the edge barely goes to Steve. I don't think this is a 4-1 chance that Steve's going to win this one. I really think that it's a lot closer to maybe 50-40 or 60-40. Math is hard. I think it'll be a good watch either way. Both squads are at 1-2, and so whoever walks away from this is separating themselves from the other in a big way, because it feels a lot different being 1-3 versus 2-2. That's for dang sure. That's our game of the week, boys. So I'm going to finish off with burn of the week. Really not seeing any quality posts on Discord, which is sad. So this is my call out for. I think this is a good time for a Greek rant, especially since he's going to be getting into game of the week. But since there have been no such things, burn of the week is all you fools who aren't tuning into this very show and just missing out on delicious craft beer. Can't win them all. Good luck this week, boys.